the beforehand of the war, going over what we were going to do in the war.
Yo, boys, have we discussed
People
what
going to Group A. Let's stay tight. Everybody that's going point A.
What'd you
stay
say?
tight together. Do not spread out too far. Let's keep a good line going in and a good line,
for
a good
the
tight
10
group
minutes,
when we get
15
there.
minutes before the war. Like, if we're in there,
the
it
healers
needs to be
cannot do
that
what they need to do.
definitions of what we mean
I was
and
gonna
when
say, boys,
to do
that what are we
things.
gonna
Like
do
push
if
through
they
point, or
kill
like
all of
melee
us and
shouldn't
push
be on
us
the
back
fucking
into the
point. We
fort?
need
How are we
range
gonna
people on the
escape?
point. We need melee
That's not
off
gonna
the point.
happen.
Kill them.
Don't even say that,
like
man.
shit like that. Like
You can't be talking
No,
like
I
that,
saw
bro.
my boys
All right,
getting
1
bodied.
minute, 1 minute.
yeah,
Food and honing.
My baby boys. I was down too.
I fucking had my goddamn luck jewelry, and I didn't realize until like 1 minute before it started.
Oh, dude, that's why we lost.
It was
No,
like
I mean
a
that's why I put it so low. But that was fucking.
I
away
swear
from
to
the
God,
gates.
it was like their whole back line.
No, it's 1 minute.
It was a 1 to
1 minute,
5
1 minute.
ratio for every single
Yep.
one of us in their back
Brother.
line.
Yeah.
I'll
One of
tell
us,
you-
five
Brother,
of
their
them.
back line looked juicy as fuck. The
It was,
problem
but we couldn't
is
stay
you
on
were
it.
You were back there
And
by
then,
yourself.
are we using
Yeah, I
haste
know.
off the bat or no?
That's the problem.
They don't
Bro,
need
I
three
was-
flank
I was-
teams. Why did they
Say
put
it.
three tanks
The
on
comp,
fucking
the
flank
comp.
team?
I knew going into the
Not
war
hasting.
as soon as Red switched it all up from what I was.
C
seeing,
team
army, when
it
we
was the
get to
comp was
C,
fucked.
Who was our tanks
Let's
on the flank?
Wipe anybody that's around the point before we push up on the point.
C
Same
team
goes
should
with
hit
We
us
point
We
A.
a
needed
long way.
people where I was at
Yeah,
the whole
if,
war.
if you
I was
drop the
farming
haste
people on a
and
hotspot. I
try
couldn't
to
even see what was
avoid
happening.
the tall grass.
Like, they
I
were
was-
just dying for free. They
I
weren't
mean,
doing
I was like single-handedly clearing points multiple times, but then they would respawn on the point, and they would just like there would be like
Hard
all
haste.
those melee guys that would just fucking. By that time, our numbers would get thinned out, and they would just rush me and kill me. And I think what they were talking about in there, I think was also a thing. Like, dude, out of my 13 deaths, like I would say like 7 or 8 of them were like 35-second respawn
About 10
timers,
on
and it was
average.
just kind of like I don't know if that's like a strategic thing or if that's just kind of an unfortunate thing, but I think like the respawn timers just really were favorable for them compared to us, and I think that
that's
hurt.
because we died so often.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's still just kind of an RNG based thing in a way, right? It's like you know,
But
they could stagger us. Well, no, it was a big deal because it means that, like, you know, if they're picking off high value targets and those targets are on 35-second respawn timers, like people like Turbo
But I'm
and
saying
stuff like that.
the reason it didn't matter is because when we push as a team,
the whole point.
when we
yeah,
even
the whole
pushed
point,
as a
they
whole
were-
team, they wouldn't keep pushing. They would just
Yeah.
stop dead on the point. So even if we push as a team, flank would go try and push over to the range, and their melee would cut us off while the range just rains down on the fucking point and on us. And we
Like,
couldn't
it
get
was
to
the-
them. They're
it
just
was like
standing
how
there.
we won Winsford. Like,
you respawn,
our back, the
I
whole,
see,
like
team.
it ended up to where
Try to
pretty
push
much
these guys
the
off
only people that were on
their
the
side of the
in
point.
the Winsford War was our back, or was our mages, and we were pushed up past it, killing them off the spawns, trying to come in. Like, it wasn't happening. That's what I'm saying. Like that was one of the biggest parts. Is our main army would not push to challenge them, so we were just sitting back on the back half. We went back to the
Keep
old
heading
shit.
A, guys.
It's just
Let's
the
lock
same
it
old
down,
bad
wipe
habit.
them out around
That's
the
what's
point
gonna
and
happen
move
every
in.
time you have someone saying bodies on point every 3
Like,
seconds, because
most of
that's
their-
just what people go do. They
die
just
on
go
C
point.
point.
and sit
Keep
there.
wasn't
even
back
on
to
point.
C as quickly as possible.
I know. Because I can tell you right now, fighting on the back line in flank, every time I'd engage somebody, it was like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, no, it was,
and that was everywhere around the point, not on the point.
100%
Push to
right.
the point,
We
yeah,
were
back
sitting on
line.
the
I got a
back
bunch
of
of
our
castles
point,
with free castles.
fucking smoking fucking weenies and fucking roasting marshmallows and getting absolutely obliterated with AoE.
And then the problem is we couldn't focus any of the people. If we jump on somebody, dude, even
got
like
jumped
we could
on
jump on like 3
every
healers and we'd
fucking
immediately
time.
get dived on by an entirely separate
Listen,
team.
listen, man. You should never be calling bodies
making
on
movement.
point
Stick together.
when
Stay
there's
tight, people.
25
Stay tight.
ranged off the point.
Yeah.
Attack
Push them
them.
off that
Yeah.
backside.
There was
That-
one during that A fight. There was literally one single time when we
We're
needed
wiping
bodies
them
on
on A.
point. That was when we
We're
were at
wiping
like
them on
80
A.
fucking
Keep
percent.
them off
That
the
only
point.
happened the one time. That was it was at like it's 17 or 18
We still got
minutes.
one
Yeah.
up, John.
But when we were at 0 on the cab and we just got a fresh respawn and we're pushing all together now,
Yeah,
their
yeah,
immediate
yeah,
call
those
is to get
bodies
on
on
point.
point. Yeah,
well,
yeah,
you
yeah.
didn't hear You didn't hear me yelling, everybody get on the point when we
Yeah,
was
no,
within a
No,
5
we
to
know,
10%. You didn't hear Karen yelling, everybody get on the point within a 5 to 10%.
There was 2 people doing it.
It was Matthew and it was Reds. Those are the main ones, and then Rapids slightly less. But Matthew was literally yelling bodies on point for 20 minutes.
We know we've already overcome that problem. We knew it was a problem before. It's the same shit that Yellow was doing to us. It's the exact same thing. They don't need to contest the point because they can kill us before it's even a problem.
It's just
Literally exactly what you did. Rain down on us.
Why the fuck are we going through growing pains in this faction when we already know it's a problem?
Because they wanted
Necrotic
to
wasn't there for that.
And I mean, that's what we have. Is that's I mean, like we let people lead their own wars. Like, but I don't think that we explain.
C team, everybody that's on main army.
We need to explain to these people who are like, we want to lead our
team is
war.
gonna keep
that,
them
like,
off of
you're
the point.
probably going to lose. And
But
Buddy, did you not hear what I said to him earlier?
No, I did. No, I know.
already
but,
said I thought they learned the first time. I said that's Rapid. You guys learned the hard
no,
way
I know
once.
that, but that was earlier today, and Rapid was like, I don't know, he just ignored it. We
that
need
is
to
when
get
there was
their
20
entire
minutes
group
left before the war.
We need to get their entire group, like the entire group of whoever.
That was like an hour before the war.
Rapids, Reds, and whoever the fuck else is the leader in their group, and we need to tell them.
You're doing
that,
good, C team.
No, you leading this war is a fucking astronomically bad idea. You should not do it. You should let Karen fucking lead the war and let Gavin and Ace call flank, and that's all we need. Nobody else should be making bodies on point calls. Like, that's fucking it.
That's why.
also
and Stan and John be yelling at the
Exactly.
I want you on their back. And the backline that I made, that was a good call. Gravel.
Yeah, that worked out.
I don't, Karen, no offense, I don't want you on flank because I feel like you have too much on your plate already.
No, yeah, never.
I want somebody on flank that's for flank basically only, that doesn't have to deal with any other stuff.
So the healers can do their thing.
We couldn't.
There was no grouping.
Yeah, there was
absolutely no way.
Get on point.
And main army, push the point on B. Everybody put bodies on B.
3 flank groups.
Flank team is gonna try to keep them off of us.
I definitely like 3 flank groups. Yeah, and our third group had 3 tanks in it. Like that made no
Yeah,
fun. We had more tanks that war than we've ever brought to a war.
The flank needs to be more coordinated with grouping and target calling. That's the only thing I can say about that.
There was nothing to do in that war with coordinating or targets. There's nothing
we
we
were
could have
on.
done.
We would go in their backline. We would focus a fucking healer, and we
And
would
then get dived.
fucking slaughtered.
I
Like,
was get slaughtered because there was
there.
30 of them and only 10
that's
of
not a
us.
fucking problem with shot calling. That's a fucking
Exactly.
problem with getting slaughtered by the fucking enemy team.
Okay,
Did anyone,
tell me a good shot call that you made for flank that war.
Buddy, I
Go
can
up
have
along the
I had
wall.
us
I mean,
go
that
up
was
along the
fucking
wall,
crazy.
and we literally snuck up right behind them. And immediately as we started killing their
There was
healers, we
multiple
got
times
fucking
where we
dived and
properly-
wiped out
there was
instantly.
You gotta
There was
put
multiple
problem-
times
okay.
where we
You
we
have to
properly
keep
rotated
doing
around the
it.
point.
Yes,
But-
we
no,
were,
no,
buddy.
we did,
And when we
yeah,
did,
but-
when we did, we would
okay,
get caught
Main
again.
army, push up on B,
one of
guys.
the problems, yes, that they're literally their entire army. Okay, so every other war that we fought against
If they
Green, they
push
did the
in
same
on the
shit.
point,
they were
push
like,
them
they would
back
have a
towards their
cluster
side
of
of the
fucking
fort.
casters all standing next to each
Holding
other. That's
back
why
game
we
crash.
run up
Run away.
behind them with a group of 10 and wipe them all.
Many bodies on that
And-
point as possible.
but this
We're
time,
10 of them.
They were spread out pretty much evenly all around the fucking point, and our main army, was sitting on the point instead of pushing off the point to hit them. So when we rolled up on their healers in the middle of their fucking whatever spread, their casters would turn and fucking wipe us. It happened just on repeat. Like,
Okay, I definitely understand that and I get what you're saying, but here's what I'm saying. Don't act like you did everything fucking perfect. It's okay.
I'm not saying we did. I'm saying that was what led to that issue.
The target calling and grouping for flank could have been way fucking better than it was. It may have
telling you
not
right
made a
now.
difference.
It wouldn't
No,
have.
we
focus on these
jumped on
casters and stop fighting the
healers. We
melee.
were on heal. I fucking was running
They got a
down
bunch of
Derek
casters
and
back here.
Nightman and
Everybody's
slaughtered
fighting
the
the melee. Yeah, so was
entire
I.
Die
fucking
in main
time.
army.
I had
We
Nightman
were
within my
next to
grasp
each other.
8 times.
Yeah,
But
and then
just
I get hit
constantly.
and then I get hit.
We don't
by
need
6
to
fucking
call.
You need to call it.
We don't
Oh, I
need to
got
call it because
Bravo.
I'll be hitting
Yeah.
Nightman and Nerdy's also hitting Nightman, and then
Like,
Blob will
we
come in and
would-
also be like, we just know who to
exactly.
fucking
On
look
that
for,
point, as
bro.
close
It's not,
as
Yeah.
it's not
possible to
fucking
it.
brain surgery.
It's
I don't
not.
think
It's not
we-
about the calls. Like it's.
Like, I
it's
know where-
entirely about what
If
the
you
main
look at
army
our
is
kills,
doing.
They got a
Flank has more kills than anybody.
They
else.
got a
big line just right here on the point.
Like,
Yeah, but right where Cal was chilling, fucking popping.
I've seen kills as
Body's
well.
on point. Body's on point.
Like,
We
in
just got a
my
lot of red
hill-
skulls.
Look at all these kills.
5-second respawn.
It's just every time I would go get to y'all on flank.
Dude, also,
Respawn.
X Zeta.
Can we
Fuck
get?
yeah.
Can we get rapid in here?
Look at
Because that was-
fucking
this was
X
not-
Zeta
this was-
too. He
No,
has
this is
this
not-
motherfucker.
This
I'm
is
Buddy, you gotta let the
This
wounds.
unknown
this was not
bastard
his fault.
here.
As quickly
This
as
was
It's
not
too big of a room to bring
Dude,
rapid
no,
into.
but look at. I want to point
Everyone needs
out.
to
Look,
chill out a bit
look,
before talking
X
to him.
Zeta
Yeah,
has not been a
please.
priority in our wars. Get him on the roster, motherfucker. You
ready
better
for
sign up
big
for these
attacks,
rosters.
AOEs when
Look
they
at that.
respawn.
He was 39 and
Please have
11. He
your
did
sons now,
1.2 million damage, and this man has been
They're
in
respawning,
like
they're respawning.
one other war. Like,
I'll tell you why I'm pissed. I fucking swapped out my big AoE build as soon as it would have mattered. I would have actually been able to fucking do the big AoE damage then. I wanted Whirlwind and I
On our
had fucking
respawn,
Reap.
hold tight.
Everybody on flank has 20 plus kills from being on the back line. Some in the 30s.
And I mean, we had some like people
Well,
like
we got
Flama
3 or 4
are
guys.
fucking
They have
in the
about
waiting
10,
room.
we
Like
have
that
about 4 or
shouldn't
5.
be a thing when we have some of the people on that
It's-
roster.
exactly.
He's like
Yeah,
consistently a top 5 player.
ridiculous.
He should
Flama's
never.
been on the
He should
roster.
be in automatically.
Well, the
He's a
problem is
top-
that once
he's
we
really
start
been-
fighting
Go
wars
look
for
at
these
that-
other
go look at that.
companies,
Flama's been a top 5 DPS.
I have none of my
several
A
wars.
team.
yeah, they start bringing their own people. Same thing happened with Bob Ross, and we can't. I mean, we can, but
it worked for Bob Ross because they brought a whole bunch of fucking under 50s. Green has a full roster of 60s who know what they're doing. Like, or at least are
Hammerstone's now-
reasonably
now-
who is wholesale?
Don't let them push us
Look
this
at number
way.
81 and number 84 on the,
Smup?
on the roster.
Who is wholesale?
More, yes,
Stay
yes,
true-
good, good,
well,
good. Kill
is
the
that's
group in the
a
middle.
Smut.
Okay.
Mup
Let
is a
me
tank.
change your name real quick.
Yeah, he was fire staff. That war. 394k damage.
Lots of red
Reds is the
skulls. Let's
melee
get on point.
DPS,
On B.
377k damage.
We almost have it.
That's on point.
I mean, yeah, the real,
Put it down.
That's
other
on,
than-
but that's
other
on
than-
point.
Other than the
If you're in groups 1 through 4, put your body on the point.
I want to see AoE stun.
More
stun.
red skulls, baby. Let's go.
Everybody on the point.
Me and
But
XVD
also-
both had over
Stuns, grabs,
700k
yes, yes,
damage,
yes.
almost
Yeah.
800k.
Good
Bro,
catch.
I'm
Also-
playing
They only
without
have
any
five-
of those.
they only have
Buddy,
five
Buddy,
on
I
A. They
was,
only have
I was
5 on A,
playing
and we're already
flank too
starting to take
because it
them.
looked fucking pitiful. There was nobody else on their back line.
Good shit.
Like,
The
I
whole,
was
okay, this is the whole. Karen was
Yep,
talking
buddy,
about
if you
today,
have
but
it.
the
That's
whole-
because
the-
we were dead.
everyone-
No, it's
Just
the
jump.
reason that nobody else was on their back line because our main fucking army was standing on the point the whole time because that's what they were being screamed at to do.
10-second
You guys
respawn. 10-second
were running
respawn.
back there into a 10v40 basically.
And we know the choice. Somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
If we
And,
if we
and
stand on point
also-
2, we're just gonna die the same.
Also, the way they had their positioning was great because they don't have to worry. They don't give a fuck if you're flanking or
Push
main
them
army
off to
because the
their
way
side
they
of
are,
the point if
the
they come
range
in.
is set up where they're on the
Hammers now,
opposite
please,
side
and grabs
of
also.
A.
Yeah.
They're watching you come in from either left or right. It don't fucking matter which way you're coming.
Yeah,
there.
when the
You're gonna
range
be
was
running
on
straight
the
in.
west side of A,
15 respawn.
like, and we would try to get around to the west side, it was not
You
possible.
have to. You
We
have
get
to
caught
go
in like
through
the
their main
initial,
army.
yeah, we
Our
get caught
main
in an
army-
initial net of dudes, and then they would just rank us. and
Our
fucking
main
kill us.
army has to take control of that position.
Hands are all down.
We have to push our main army into their fucking range instead of standing on the point and letting them cast on us.
Well, hey, one thing though. Wait, hold on. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, but I do want to say, I don't want us to ignore the fact that when in this war, like it wasn't like you said how it was before, where they have like all their casters in a
14
big
seconds
convenient
respawn.
group. Like their casters were very well spread, right? So even if we did.
It wasn't.
Well, I'm just saying, even if we did do that, right? Even if we did, like, have more better, like, call to where we're pushing our army through, like, it's possible that what happens is, you know, like, we push our army through to like, you know, where some of their casters are and stuff, and then all the casters that are kind of, like, in a circle going around that point that we pushed to, they all just turn, and now instead of firing all their AoEs on the point, they fire their AoEs on this new point that we've created in their backline.
But you gotta remember, if main army
Don't
pushes
respond.
towards the casters, okay? Say main army didn't even
Get on
push
that
the
point.
point.
Wait,
and
but
they
you
pushed
said
up to the west.
you said the casters were all around the point, like evenly spread out.
Either back of the point or west of the point, mainly west of the point. If the main army pushed to the west of the point, and flank team was coming in from the south side of point, and we could have pinched them, it would have been a lot better than us just constantly having to run in and run into their front line.
Yeah,
because the front line would have moved to our front line, and then we could have just pinched their
20 seconds.
I don't disagree with you, but all I'm just saying is I just want us to think about that, like moving forward, because I would much rather not have another war where we do that and we do better job of it, but we still lose because it's not still we need to make more adjustments because
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, okay? You're talking about basically we would still be clumped up when we push into the range, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, just in a
AoE
different
would
place.
be focused off point and on our army. Once our army moves off point. Here's the thing with that. They're so spread. They were spread from the back to the west of the point.
Fight on A point.
If our main army just pushes out into the casters looking for a fight, our main army is going to spread enough to where we're not just sitting there taking all that AoE. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, standing on if trying to fight on the point is a fucking death sentence because you can't and especially with the stay on point, they're not moving off the point to do anything. They're staying and dying on the point. They're just getting wiped on the point. Like they're not doing anything else. They're not fighting anybody. They're just dying on the point. At least if they push off into the casters, they can interrupt them or stop them, kill them. Even if they're not killing them, the casters are going to start running.
Karen and I were talking the other night, and it was when we were running Waz orbs.
Grabs and stuns.
His whole, I mean, he kind of joked
stuns
a little bit on it, but
2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
We need everyone to get
skulls, lots of red skulls, guys.
Everyone to eventually get the mindset because people.
Everyone on
point. Main army, get on that point.
That's the whole problem that we're having.
I know what you're gonna say, and you're very right.
A bunch just respawned.
Karen was telling me how everyone is getting the mindset that they are in a flank role because that would help people. Okay, I need to go rotate around, and if we could somehow fucking do this as a main army, rotate around onto them past the point, that would be the ideal thing.
And I agree.
We do. We need big wave.
Hey, Duncan, your left. For Eduardo.
Brother.
Gavin, where are you at?
Brother, the reason I keep saying put me on main army, not on flank, because guess fucking what? I'm gonna play flank anyways. Because I'm a melee DPS and I'm not fucking retarded. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's like light flank and deep flank is really what you should be looking at.
When you're a melee DPS, you don't. When you're a melee DPS, you don't stand on the point, hit tanks. That's not what you do.
Like we are the ideal.
They're not on point anymore.
5 second respawn. That's a pretty good term there that you coined there.
See how many people just
deep
wiped?
flank, where we're we're deep.
There's no one on point
right now.
1 through 4, get on point.
The main army on point. The majority of their army pulled off.
Offense or defense, because
yes.
I noticed.
In both the main army and the deep flank are so light.
25-second respawn.
Are watching respawn. You see a guy respawn, they're sitting still for fucking
over here. Move back towards point. In this field over here, there's
that's why it's so crucial, and that's what I was trying to do the entire time. I said, tell me the time on respawn so we know when it's going to happen, because they're matched, right? They are matched, correct?
Yeah.
No more
okay, then you should easily be able to know when the point is capturable. Because we know when they're going to respawn, and we should be prepared. We wipe them, right? We push into their group, we wipe them, and then we're like, okay, they're gonna, how long on respawns? Because 1 out of 50 motherfuckers are gonna be dead to be able to say when the respawn time is, and say, okay, there's 10 seconds, everybody get ready for the respawn, okay, there's 5 seconds, and then that's when you can make the decision, do we need to cap the point here, or do we need to kill the people that are respawning?
Turbo where, yeah.
Green has done really well in both of the Morningdale wars of fighting up in front of the point.
It's the hardest fort.
Well, in both of those wars, they're just in front of the point, keeping us off of it the entire time.
Stuns and
Like,
Embers now on point.
Now.
They're really not.
Collapse on point.
Yeah, all bodies on point on main army.
Oh, yeah.
Right here, coming to you.
Yep.
Oblivion's down.
See like 7 red skulls, guys. Let's get on this
On point. Everyone should be on point right now.
Isn't there
15 on respawn.
Flank team, keep making sure them respawns get handled.
Them on timer.
There's literally.
their spawn is on our side of point, isn't it? That's where they're
behind the
point. That's where I saw people spawning.
It can be different.
Yeah, if you're looking,
It can be different places on the point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, the place where I saw the most people spawning was like on our side of the point, like opposite of where everyone else was.
No, that's where it tends to spawn.
Yeah, and so like that's kind of like what I'm getting at. It's like there was. It looked to me like, I mean, I spent most of my time around the point, like either on the point or slightly off the point. But it seemed to me like there was times where we got the wipe and we had like a full wipe, but then like the respawn would happen 5 seconds later, and there would be 20 guys that would spawn right behind the point, like where we had no like, because you guys were all pushed. Like, you know, right, I'm like you should be, to try to get to their backline and stuff. And then when they would have 20 guys respawn, all those more vulnerable people that were still on the point, like me and stuff, we would just get shredded by all the people that just respawn, because there'd be like literally 20 people that respawn because we just wiped them. And that's, I mean, it seemed like that happened like 2 or 3 times.
Here's the issue with that. Here's why that wasn't very successful, is because we're wiping their melee and their tanks on the point. When people are calling out skulls on the point, that's who we're killing. And then everybody's like, okay,
but every time I go
now we
behind
don't
them,
need to
there's
kill
nobody there killing
anybody
their
else.
backline.
You know what I mean? They're just continuing to stand on the point instead of, okay, we killed the guys on the point. There's still 30 people surrounding the point.
2 seconds.
That's why you don't.
Yeah.
That's why you don't pull all bodies on
push
point
and
until you can visually see
35-second
but that we have the numbers, and also that the point is going to be captured.
Fucking ass, buddy.
Are we doing the chest right now?
Big group,
If it's
big
a
group
percent, it
up.
don't matter.
10 minutes or 5 minutes or what?
I was thinking 10, 20, and
Don't get hit by the
I do agree though, Gavin, with what you said. If you would have grouped and went along the river there and went kind of been in the defense of our main army as you flanked instead of running directly into the side that they're watching you run from, you've probably been a little bit better.
yeah.
Well, I'm not even saying necessarily that. I'm saying if our main army pushed up the river to their mages, because then they'd have main army would be the full distraction. Flank could just walk up behind them. Their melee would start pushing our front line, and we could just wipe the mages.
I don't think we have a big enough.
Like they.
Here's the thing too. Here's the main problem with the whole shit.
Okay. It was on point.
Go stun.
If it was our core that leads
There's
the
a lot on
fucking
right
wars,
side, lot on right
which
side.
is Karen, Acehole, me, Blah, Gavin, the core people in Marked for Death, and Stanley,
10-second
and Raquel,
respawn. Everybody on the point. Everybody on the
Siege,
point.
and everybody that has those roles that has been
Their
winning
side of
these
the point.
wars.
Their side of the point.
Once we turn the faction around, we would have already had the roster and all this shit planned out hours before the war.
Yeah, I couldn't even make calls on flank because we were just dead constantly, pretty much. I would just call for a rotate and we would die.
I went into Necrotic's Discord with 20 minutes till the war, and they said that Reds is leading the main army and Karen is leading the flank.
Everybody on respawn has got to hold at B point.
And I was like, no.
They have a bunch of mages on the
we
back
gotta
line
change
fucking
this. We're
point
gonna
up.
have a fucking terrible time.
Just imagine if we didn't try and alter exactly, because
we would have never
altered
captured
exactly.
points.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man.
If your group's 613, you rotate up from our side.
I'll be honest with you. I don't fucking know why we didn't just push up to the walls like we always have
coming now.
I know,
to do that shit.
drives nuts, dude. Stop
Wow.
going for point immediately. Take out all the siege.
Why change
the
something
siege
that's
team
working?
out.
Okay, 1 through 5, 4.
Yeah, I mean,
6
like,
through 10,
I mean,
south
but
side.
wait, I've been
Didn't
saying
we
that-
get our siege down really fast? Didn't we get their siege down?
Everybody grouped up.
Where are you, John?
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I like the points thing.
I've been saying for like 5, 6 wars now. Literally, all we have to do is take all the siege out as quickly as possible, run as a giant fucking blob, and then take the points one by one and just outplay them. We just have to have our flank team and our main army work together. Yeah, I know, but the issue, the issue was the coordination between the different parts of the blob, right? That was what we're discussing here. That we're saying, and like that's all my thing is like
Does anyone have a recording?
instead of like.
You watched this.
Well,
You watched this. We were on A point way before the siege was even down.
like the thing is, the whole point I've been trying to make is we spend hours talking about like how we should split up this, that, and the other thing, and do all this crazy like chess strategy and stuff. But at the end of the day, the thing that's going to win the war is like us just like working together as an army to do the things that we need to do to wipe their team and cap the point. And like, but we don't like spend very much time talking about that. You know, we're like trying to plan out this whole thing where we're going to go to 3 different points and
listen,
diversion and stuff.
I had this strategy before. Like this is what I was talking about whenever we did the Windsword offense. We didn't even use it, but this is one of the things I was talking about, is you need a strategy to cap the first 2 points, you need a strategy for the very last point, and you need a strategy to cap the fort, right? One of the things I was saying before, which it was hard because of the way the group comp is, and I think it's still hard now, is you pile up all the bodies, everybody gets on the point, and then spreads out off the point. Because it brings them all in to the point, they panic and think you're trying to cap it, and then you just AoE them down. They're all standing in the middle on the point. You can't really do that with them because they're ranged heavy. But what I'm saying is, I agree, there definitely needs to be a separate strategy for the last point. But that also goes along with
5-minute countdown.
That also goes along with.
You get a couple bodies on point. No, never mind.
Yeah,
I think if we would have
like if they're all spread out like they are, how do we respond to that, right?
Yep.
Well,
I think
yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. That goes along with the planning. When Karen plans wars and the rest of us that help him plan these wars, we're in Discord all day.
So we gotta get in here and fight on point.
Keep shooting that place. And we're not talking about anything else about how we're going to win the war. Like that is what it's about.
Gotta hold that point. Gotta lock it down.
Hey, anyone got room in a group for this Zerg?
Right here beside you. And also, I think it goes along with too is and we shouldn't have been like this, but
1 point, we gotta fight on point. Everybody needs to be on point besides Flag.
I see him.
60 seconds.
That was definitely part of that.
I think that's a big part of what.
That was definitely part of it. Was that like we did? None of us. Well, none of us were. We weren't like adamant about saying like none of us were like, "Hey, Reds, you shouldn't be leading this war. You don't know what the fuck you're doing." None of us were like that. Like we should. One of us should. Somebody should have said that to them. Like
everybody's trying to be nice and cordial, buddy.
I thought Karen was winning the war.
I thought that based on the conversations that we had with Rapid also recalculated.
Or we gotta push all up.
I thought based on the conversation where he said they listen to us, we should. You guys should just lead that.
I thought that like he understood at that point. Like
they're not good.
I don't think he explained it to Reds.
That's why I said that earlier. I made a comment.
Yeah, I already said I went in there. At the beginning of the day, Rapid fucking gives me controls like we have been.
Yeah, they're respawning.
Gives me the old steering wheel.
Like
I'm
their
fucking
respawn
drafting,
timer
and
is
then
just
Reds comes in and just
fucking
fucking, without saying a word, revokes. I'm literally talking to Rapid. Red wasn't even in there yet.
You should call
get
me.
past their fucking respawn.
I would have cut that shit out real fucking quick.
Well, the thing was, I don't know if it was related, but all of a sudden, Reds and Rapid went into a different. Like I didn't even notice. I noticed when they came back, but they went into like a lower channel and then then came back. And
Where's here? I can rotate off main army and help you guys.
Go ahead and tell you, it does not
I'm
need to be
there,
me
and then I die,
that
and you'll
tells
die
these
immediately.
guys how it's gonna be.
Well, are we calm enough to get rapid in here now?
Got lots of
Oh,
skull.
you fell down.
I think you are.
I think
Too
that-
many people
there's
out
too
there.
many
You're by
people.
point, stack on
Yeah,
it.
too many
Stack on the
people in
point.
here.
If
We
you
We
gotta
could
push
just
the
move
point
it.
right
We could
now.
just
2
move
minutes.
fast. Fine.
Yeah.
I need all these people.
Everybody on point.
Too much.
I'm gonna keep my
Hey,
mouth shut.
hey, does
I wanna
anyone
let-
have a group? Does anyone have a group that I can get into for this Zerg?
We're full, Turbo.
Make a group. There's people asking for invites.
I said earlier, bro.
50
I'm
second
going down the
respawn.
channel real quick.
I think you should go down, Gary. I think
Lots of
Easy should
skulls.
go down. I think Ace should go
Grab
down.
well.
I think Tommy.
So every Oblivion we have.
30-second respawn.
Bro, you're the Master General, bro. You need to be.
Why? I died.
15 seconds.
That's true. Ace, you should go down.
Yep.
Just wipe the point. All right. Let me go tell.
Then you guys should
They're probably messaging. I was gonna go tell Rapid to come real quick.
Yeah. The Hawk.
I had to find out on your own the first time. You're doing it again.
Let me go. I'm gonna go tell Rapid. Do we want to bring Reds in here too? Since he-
No, that's a terrible idea. Rapid is far more easy to talk to than Reds is.
Just get Rapid.
He's the fucking governor.
Oh, okay. I'm just telling you.
Reds is in control of their company. If it was up to Rapids, we would never had this fucking problem.
We have to talk to Reds and Rat. Like that's
Exactly.
literally, yeah, we literally have to.
I'm gonna mute. I'm about to go to bed in a second. I'm
Well,
gonna see what happens. See if anybody bugs
fun.
out. 'Cause I'm gonna laugh at it.
I'm not bugging out.
What's up?
Yo.
We knew they were gonna bring
You
it.
might want to get Reds in here too.
They literally pulled everything out of their
but-
freaking. I'm going to bed.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, what we wanted to talk to you about is like, so
One does just a
the
fucking pain in the
biggest
ass.
like problem is this like split of leadership. Like you yourself said it before before the Monarchs Bluff defense. Like we have a coordinated leadership, and there was a lot of things that like happened like right before that war. Like the roster got switched around, stuff like that.
Let me say something real quick. Cut you off so you can basically, because I already know where you're pretty much going with it.
Right.
Basically, the overall
There's no reason to keep diving on the point.
is, I think it's more of just a point to like basically prove to y'all that our company can pretty much handle its own. This is the biggest thing. I don't know why, but I think that's. I mean, y'all know where I'm pretty much overall.
You mean from?
I sit with it.
So you're saying
the
the
Reds' perspective, or do you mean from the rest of the
I mean,
council?
overall between me and you, this no, just basically from the Reds overall position.
I mean, that
And he just wants to prove that he can be able to
Flank team,
basically, you know.
Point of the flank team to take out.
Understandable.
yeah, no, I get it.
Flank was on back.
But yeah, that was like.
Yeah, no, let's make it.
So that